Welcome everybody to SK Lifestyle. Thank you for joining me. Before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. So I've had the privilege of owning a 2005 Toyota Highlander for several months now, and I've definitely owned it throughout the winter. And this is going to be a video basically just discussing how it performed in the snow and the wet, what I think about it and so forth. So with that said, let's get started.
Dead stop on a hill.
Alright, so the conditions. I'm just going to set the stage real quick, nothing too crazy. So obviously it's a snowstorm. It's the second one of the week that I'm shooting at right now. And there's certainly over a foot of snow down. It's coming down about an inch or two an hour. So there is about an inch or two on the ground. The plows are out, they're making their moves, but certainly side streets, secondary streets are not looking too great, as you can see. And also with that, I will also set the conditions of the car, which it's obviously a used car. It's a 2005. It's in immaculate condition, very well kept. Everything's working on it as it should. It does have regular all-season tires. These are not some kind of hybrid. They're not some sort of winter tire. And of course, these cars come with four-wheel drive. So yeah, I just want to jump on the snow mode real quick and just talk about it just slightly bit more. So, as I said, this car will start in second gear, and that's what it will do when it's using the snow mode. And that's just obviously for possible less chances of slipping while you're trying to move away from a dead stop. Any Formula One fans out there like me, you'll know they will do that sometimes in the wet. So it's definitely a useful tool. Also, it changes the shift points, probably to help a little bit of any kind of shift shock, help the car perform a little better as it's shifting through. You're not getting heavy torque and maybe get pulled one way or another. Now, I will say that the car performed very well, and I hadn't used the snow mode for some time. And when I finally did, I sort of noticed it just a little bit in the rev range, like as I was pulling off from hard stop. But it was really hard to tell, the benefit of it. But I certainly don't think it can hurt. So I would say use it. You know what I mean? And the second gear thing is always great. So you're not like, I don't know. I don't jump off the line at starts. Most times when I'm driving around, I'm pretty easy on the gas. But for those that like to just slam the pedal, you might love that mode. And you may really see a difference from it. So I was actually driving around earlier in the week. And snowstorm, very similar to this, very similar conditions. And I saw F-150 that T-boned an Altima actually at an intersection about halfway up a hill, pretty steep grade. Not an intersection where there was a light or anything, just kind of like a stop sign, three-way stop kind of thing. And so I parked on the side. I used the e-brake, as I parked the car, and went and checked on the people just to make sure they were okay and everything. Thankfully they were. So I hopped back in the car and I went and took off. Now what was surprising to me, about 30 seconds later I just realized it, was that the car didn't slip. So despite being halfway up a hill and I was heading up the hill, it's not like I released the brake and just rolled down the hill. I was still going up. With snow, there's ice, it's nighttime, it's getting even colder out, so there was just no slip. It just took off. It might as well have been a flat highway in the summertime. There was just an immense amount of grip.
These people, how do you drive in the middle of a snowstorm in a dark gray car, or a light gray car I should say, with no lights on? I don't know, it's like this little Prius. It's like you don't know, you just blend into the background of everything. You don't have any lights on. It's crazy. I don't know how people do it. I drive with lights on all the time anyway, but especially while it's raining or it's snowing. It's like even if you can see, you don't want people to see you better before you get hit. That's why I drive with lights on. So people see me an extra half a second early if they're not paying attention or whatever, and hopefully avoid hitting me. You know what I mean? Something called self-preservation. Some people need to learn it. Home Depot. Hopefully they're open. I mean, there's cars here, but I don't know. It seems like everything's shut down. So we shall see. I'm not sure. So it looks like Home Depot is open, and I will need a mask. You can see here it's so white, I went right over the curb. Toyota power. Honestly, it felt like a speed bump. I mean, I was only going 2 miles an hour because I'm just crawling in the parking lot, but I mean, nothing bottomed out. Yeah, I mean, it just felt like the left side of the car just went over a speed bump. All right, I got the goods. And yeah, let's go brave the storm again.
So one other thing that I want to touch upon real quick is just the visibility in this car. So the grip is immense, it's very reliable, and on top of it all, you can see out of it very well. So the confidence that you have while driving this car, especially in the winter, is great. Now, visibility, especially when it's winter conditions like this, even as daylight, it may be pretty dark, like, daytime, it may be pretty dark outside with the clouds, the snow, there's shadows everywhere. It's just, I like visibility, and I always drive around with my lights on so people see me as much as possible. So I just thought that the ability to see out of this car so well just made a even bigger difference in just how comfortable and how confident I felt to drive this car around, whether I was in some tight parking lot full of snow, or if I'm on a highway or back road or wherever. I could always see any direction. If I'm backing up, whatever, it just felt good, and it really made the difference for sure.
As winter snowstorms and
So look at that. That's a pretty steep little incline there. And you saw I had no problems just putting in reverse, coming right back. There was no slip, no nothing. Might as well be a perfectly summer day. But it's not, it's winter. Here in Connecticut, SK Lifestyle. Now time to go put some salt down and get back to the video.
Alright, so it is that time to wrap up this video. Now I'll say, while I don't live in Alaska, our New England winters can be pretty serious and a good test for most people on what they'll face, you know what I mean, from day-to-day conditions throughout the year. I think this car, even for over 15 years old, is a great buy if you're looking for a solid, reliable, capable vehicle and just something that can handle light off-road conditions. This has to be at the top of your list. Of course, there's other options out there for used vehicles especially, but to handle this solid, have these features, and the insane reliability of Toyota, and these models specifically at the time they were made, it just makes it so attractive. One thing I forgot to mention was the side skirts. Well, actually, you may have heard me state something while I was in the Home Depot parking lot as I went over the curb, and that brings me to my point. The side skirts never touch the curb. I guess I'm bringing it up because as you're in a car day to day, especially in winter or rain or anything like that, if you have huge side skirts, as you're getting in and out of the car, it's going to rub up and down on your pants, and you're going to get dirt and grime or stuff on you. It might get kind of annoying. And if you have huge side skirts and you make terrible mistakes like I did and go over the curb, they'll probably scrape. So this car, they're very thin and they kind of cave inwards a little bit. So it's just so much room on the side. I mean, it could probably do pretty well off-road, I would think. So just something to think about there. Those are the little tidbits you get here with SK Lifestyle. I know you appreciate it. I know you do. So yeah, if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like. Give it that thumbs up. Be sure to share as well. And more than ever, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. I appreciate all the support, and it's coming to springtime now, so we're going to have a few more videos on the Highlander out soon, including a 6-month ownership review and some individualized videos on specific topics. Now, if you guys want something specific from me on this or something else, let me know. Leave it in the comments section down below. I will always get back to you. I appreciate you watching SK Lifestyle, and until next time, take care. Carpe diem.
That's what we call Toyota power, baby. SK Lifestyle.